Have you ever found yourself staring at a queue, wishing it would go away, but at the same time wondering where on earth your support team is? Well, I certainly have, and it can be very frustrating, and it can lead to spontaneous and not necessarily brilliant decisions being made. This is Martin Shaw, creator of Contact Center Analyst, and I'm here to help you manage your operations more effectively by bringing you better visibility and insight into your data. In contact centres, there are several critical dependencies and potential points of failure that can happen at any time. This can range from problems with staffing, productivity and real-time management, to customer activity, process breakdown, systems performance, or due to a suboptimal support strategy being deployed. The good news is that everything you need to know about every single problem, no matter how big or small, is available somewhere in your data. The key to minimizing impact is obviously to get the right information to the right managers at all levels at the right time, so that decisions can be made promptly. Sounds straightforward, but all too often, because of the amount of data available, the siloed nature of the key data systems, and limited experienced analytical resources, contact center managers are not equipped with adequate insight, so are regularly caught by surprise. This module is going to focus on shrinkage, which forms a key part of CCA's True Insight series. Now, we've already seen how CCA Pulse gives us a snapshot, real-time view of our critical right now performance and productivity metrics from your multimedia platforms. We can see that we have a hotspot here with a service level which is off target, and you can see your total live resource availability by activity type here on the left, and drill down to see specifically who is doing what, how long for, etc. But what about what you can't see? Those resources who are not productive or not even logged in. Current thinking in the industry suggests that contact centres need to factor in an extra 40 to 50% additional resource for shrinkage. Yet somehow it is notoriously difficult to access decent quality shrinkage information, even when using expensive and supposedly powerful WFM systems. Before we look at how CCA solves this problem, I just want to introduce you very quickly to some dynamics that you can face when working with WFM data. Here is a sample of what the raw data looks like from one of the leading contact center WFM systems. As with any raw data, it is pretty hard to get a feel of what's going on here. Even for a single member of staff, there can be a varying number of entries in a day, with all of the shrinkage activities itemized, some of them nested, with some activities in different time zones having different shift dates, data slippage due to illegal characters, multiple similar activities being logged in, ID, department or site changes, typos, etc. And these are just some considerations which can make using this data a headache for most managers. The prospect of and keep track of it all manually is daunting and probably unrealistic. Now, these problems are certainly not insurmountable, as all of the required data can be extrapolated from this raw data systematically, but certainly some automated process needs to either create new data sets or apply logic in order to be able to transform this data so that it becomes meaningful, usable and accurate. So let's go and have a look at how CCA overcomes these challenges. We can do this by selecting CCA's second main BI entry point, which is the CCA True Insights module. As a quick recap to our other video, this is the interactive umbrella management KPI scorecard showing the results from today, week to date or month to date, integrating with multiple data sets such as multimedia, workforce management, CRM, HR, etc. This helps managers get great visibility and insight even across huge operations almost instantly and within 1 or 2 clicks of the mouse. As we're interested in shrinkage today, let's have a quick look and see what we've got. Each department or hotline has its own target and thresholds. And here we can see that Malaysia has a red flag for today, so they're underperforming. And we as managers would do well to find out why, as quickly as possible before things get out of control. With one click, we are presented with the first tier, the baseline shrinkage metrics. I'll introduce this to you quickly. We can see that shrinkage has three main categories. First level, where staff are not in the office at all. This can also be referred to as external shrinkage. Second level, where staff are in the office but are unproductive, which can be referred to as internal shrinkage. And thirdly, missing, which is the unaccounted for time whereby staff who are supposed to be at work are not logged in. The totals of these three categories are summed up and represented in the chart on top, which gives a strong visual indicator to any irregularities. And the heat map in the table below also helps managers to focus on specific time periods. The system opens up the first level tree by default, as this is the most frequently used, and here you can see the breakdown of all planned leave or approved activities, as well as absence or unplanned leave. The individual shrinkage subcategories are managed in CCA's back end, so any additions or changes to shrinkage codes in the WFM platform over time are maintained under each shrinkage subcategory. Level 2 displays the breakdown of unproductive time while staff are in the office, commonly referred to as not ready or aux time. This is time spent on a multitude of different activities, ranging from meal and comfort breaks to system problems, escalations and callbacks, many of which are essential to the healthy running of the operations. Lastly, CCA includes a very powerful metric which is seldom reported adequately, mainly due to the effort required to produce it. Missing shows the collective time lost due to staff who are supposed to be at work and logged in, but are not. Again, this is expressed as either a percentage or in man hours. It can be alarming quite how many man hours are lost to this, and until contact centres find a way to report this seamlessly, it will continue to go largely unmanaged and you will have unwittingly lost that productive time. Another strong feature of this dashboard is that every single one of these values is interactive, meaning that you can, with a single click, drill down to lower levels of detail, for example by interval, or see the names of staff contributing most to the different shrinkage codes. With all of the data processing taking place in the back end, irregularities and patterns are made available to managers, and this opens up the possibility, with just another click, of identifying opportunities for immediate improvement, for example to address unsavoury behaviour at an individual level. An example of this is where a pattern can sometimes be observed, whereby staff habitually call in sick immediately preceding or following an off day or annual leave. By making this information so easily available to managers, such behaviour changes overnight and more productive hours result. And with this extra resource, the service bar automatically rises. An interesting point to note here though is that while sometimes staff will be late and some do abscond from work occasionally, this type of reporting is not always about finding bad apples. It happens regularly whereby staff have reported in sick or on emergency leave and the team leader has forgotten to update the system. So CCA provides for a solid mechanism to ensure managers are entering their staff records properly, on time, which ensures tighter reporting integrity. Lastly, the date controls allow for painless navigation to shrinkage information from last week, last month or last year in 1 or 2 clicks of the mouse, which provides a wealth of insight about shrinkage behaviour surrounding previous events, product launches, holidays or periods of impact. Equipped with this level of insight at their fingertips, managers can easily double-check future staffing plans and cross-reference information, injecting a much-needed human element into what is often a heavily automated WFM process. The very essence of CCA is to address a common constraint. No manager has the bandwidth to be able to look at everything in detail all of the time. So without adequate BI detection mechanisms in place, some lapses will go unchecked and managers will miss out on opportunities to optimise the efficiency of their contact centres. I know that had I had this level of visibility when I was managing my operations previously, not only would this have given me a great comfort in knowing exactly where everybody was at any given point in time, but it also would have helped me make better decisions and also formulate a more effective support strategy around the resources that I did have available. All managers need this level of visibility and insight in order to minimise wastage and maximise the efficiency of their contact centres. This is Martin Shaw from Contact Centre Analyst. I trust this session has been interesting for you and I look forward to catching up with you again very soon.